Others again who are devoted to breath control, having restrained the paths of prana, the outgoing breath, and apana, the incoming breath, pour as yagna, prana into apana, and apana into prana. In this verse, we must understand what prana and apana are. Who knows what they are? Prana and apana. Anyone know? Huh? They're technical terms of hatha yoga. Prana is the opposite of the air in the atmosphere around us. It is the air that goes through our mouths and our noses. It's the air that we exhale from inside. Apana is the air that comes into our bodies through our mouth and our noses. It is the air that we inhale. Scientists call this air that we inhale oxygen, but there is a different definition in the Gita and other scriptures as described in this verse. One must remember this when trying to understand this verse. 3 types of pranayam, which is breathing as Niti said, are described in this verse. The first are those who pour as yagna, apana, into prana. So they pour the incoming breath into the outgoing breath. If you try to understand this from the point of view of hatha yoga, then this is called purak pranayam. Purak pranayam. This is when the person takes air from the outside and brings it inside. Those who study yoga will know that there's 3 types of pranayam breathing: purak, rechak, and kumbhak. Purak, rechak, and kumbhak. All 3 of these have been described in this verse. Purak means to take breath inside or to inhale. The second type of people are those who pour as yagna, prana, into apana, which is rechak pranayam. Such a person takes air from the inside and puts it outside. The third are those who restrain the paths of prana and apana, which is kumbhak pranayam. Kumbhak means a picture, and in this type of breathing, your body is like a picture, like the object picture, not the drawing picture, and you hold the air that you have in the picture. These are the different types of pranayam. If one tries to interpret these 3 types of breathing in the terminology of hatha yoga, then there are purak, rechak, and kumbhak. If one tries to understand the 3 spiritually, then they are the oblations one makes during his life. In this sense, apana, which is the air that we exhale, is like a divine cause and sacrifice of oneself. So apana is the incoming breath. So apana is like the divine cause. You're taking a divine cause in, and prana, which is an outgoing breath, is a sacrifice for oneself, for the oblation. So you're bringing a divine cause into you, and then you're sacrificing yourself for it. Inhalation is an oblation, exhalation is oblation, and holding the breath is also an oblation. When these are seen like a yagna, then one's whole life, even the breathing, becomes like a yagna. Oxygen is not a gas, but it's a great bridge between us and the world. When one's life becomes like a yagna, then each type of breathing can also become like a yagna. If each of one's breath become like a yagna, then one's whole life will become a yagna. Srimad Adi Shankaracharya says in the Shiv Manas Puja, Atmanam girimati sachara prana shariram gruham pujana vishayoge prabhatarachana nidra samadidashati sachara padayo parishani viti shotani shotavdirayo yagyat karma karomi tata dakhilam shambho tavaratanam. Note this down very carefully. This is modern day yoga. It says, God, everything I do is in adoration of you. Because he's talking to Shivji. Shivji, you are my soul. My intellect is Parvati. The 5 parts of my breath, which are prana, apanaya, vyanaya, udanaya, samaya, are the 5 faces of Shiva. My body is your temple. My enjoyment of material objects is my worship of you. Because God has blessed me with these things because of my good deeds, and I have not forgotten God while enjoying them, therefore my enjoyment of these things brings me closer to you, God. When I go to sleep, then I attain the divine state, because I remember you before going to sleep, and when waking up, and therefore the time I spent sleeping must have been in your remembrance or in the divine state. Whenever I step, I am doing a pilgrimage, because you are omnipresent, you are everywhere, and I know that you reside in all the places where I step. Therefore, each step of mine brings me closer to you. Everything I say is in praise of you, because I say it for you. This is because everything I say brings people closer to you, God. I give your thoughts to everyone, and remembering this one thing, I make everyone's lives pure. Therefore, everything I say is in praise of you. Whatever works I perform is an adoration of you and a worship of you. Let me repeat it once again. This is his prayer to Shivji. Srimad Adi Shankaracharya. Atmanam girimati sarachara prana shariram gruham pujayate vishayogo prabhotatarachana nidra samadidashati sanchara padayo pradikshini viddi shotani shotavadiro yatyat karma karami tata dakhilam shambhotavaradanam in a Shiv Manas Puja. God, everything I do is in adoration of you, because you are my soul, my intellect is Bhagavati, the 5 parts of my breath, prana, apanaya, vyanaya, udanaya, samanaya, are the 5 faces of Shiva. My body is your temple. My enjoyment of material objects is my worship of you. When I go to sleep, then I attain the divine state. Wherever I step, I'm doing a pilgrimage of you, because you are omnipresent. And so you are everywhere, and I know that you reside in all the places where I step. Therefore, each step of mine brings me closer to you. Everything I say is in praise of you, because I say it for you. This is because everything I say brings people closer to you. I give your thoughts to everyone, and remembering this one thing, I make everyone's lives pure. Therefore, everything I say is in praise of you. Whatever works I perform is in adoration of you and in worship with you. In this way, one's whole life becomes a yagna, starting with a breath. You can be doing anything on the outside. You can be enjoying material objects. But if you think this at every moment, this is modern day yoga. Okay? Next verse.